What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the latest edition of the Pixel Playground podcast. My name is Matt, and I am joined here by the Frenchman himself, Frenchie. It's been a long time, but we are back. How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's been a long time. We skipped a week because of the holiday, and then we skipped last week because of Evo. You went to Evo, I heard.
I did go to Evo.
So we're gonna go over that today. But it's been a good time. I worked today, which was nice.
Yeah.
I was in a so some of you that don't know, I work at the hospital. I'm a respiratory therapist. Had a nice day in the ER. I felt like I helped a lot of people. Came
That's
home,
good.
So feeling pretty good about myself today.
Very nice.
So.
Very nice. Can't be mad at that when we're helping people.
Definitely not. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. It's hot. It's a hot one here, but not too bad overall. Yeah, I'm just coming back from Vegas. Vegas was extremely hot. Lots of nerds there. It was my type of place, and it was a good time out. So, yeah, went to Evo this past week. The tournament started on Friday. We got out there Thursday with the family and got into our hotel. Was able to kind of relax a little bit, go to the pool and everything. Friday, I had pools. I played Street Fighter 6 this year, and just kind of casually played other stuff. But played pools on Friday evening. Huge hall. It was at the Las Vegas Convention Center in the West Hall. So it's one of the newer halls, and the layout was massive. I mean, the floor was massive. They had areas where Sony had a booth there because Sony owns Evo. So they had their merch stand. They had a bunch of different hardware that you could pick up. So they had PlayStation portals, they had controllers, they had all this stuff, and then they had little booths where you could play different games. I thought for a split second when I first walked into the room, I thought that they had Astrobot to play, but when I looked closer, it was Astro's Playroom, which I've platinum. So that was
sure?
a minor. Yeah, it was Astro's Playroom.
I'm pretty sure it was Astrobot.
I don't know if it was Astrobot, brother.
Based off of what I've seen on Twitter, because I've seen some people that went to Evo and they were playing Astrobot.
Maybe it was. I don't know, man.
Not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Astro's Playroom, to be honest. They did have a couple of games that. So they had a area for Street Fighter, or Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. That was cool. Got to play that. They had a little photo op area where it was Ultra Instinct Goku against Jiren, and they had life size. How do you say not statues, but
like cardboard cutouts?
No, they weren't cardboard. They were definitely more like plastic or rubber kind of setups, but that they were life size, but I wouldn't call them statues because they weren't made of metal or anything. But they had the characters there that you could kind of pose with. That was cool. Bunch of fighting games. Artist Alley. I gotta tell you, dude, I've never seen so much thirsty artwork in all my life.
We're in that era, man.
So much anime girls and stuff. I was almost like, dude, Tori, because Tori originally wanted to come, but then you know how Tori is. So, but I was just like, dang, man, you missed a good time. You would have had a good time looking at all the little waifu booths and stuff.
I'm sure they had Cammy statues.
Dude, they didn't have any statues. That's one thing that I was just like, where the hell are the statues, man? That's the one thing they didn't have. But they had most everything else, and it was really cool. Playing was super fun. I went 2-2. I had to face K-Brad in my second match. He's an old pro from Street Fighter 4. Hasn't been as involved, but still really good. I wasn't free, but also I don't think he was sweating fighting me at all.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of those things. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know if you're better than someone.
Oh yeah. Definitely. The two people I beat. So it's funny because I won both my matches 2-0 and then I lost both my matches 2-0. And the second one I lost, I just didn't have a lot of matchup knowledge on that character. I lost to a Manon, which you don't really see a lot because they're kind of it's a gimmicky character that's not very good. Yeah. And so, I lost, and that's fine. It's not a big deal. My goal was to not go 0-2. So going 2-2 means that I'm already better than 50% of the field because you weed out half the field, it's going to go 0-2 or whatever. So I'm top 50%. I'm good with that. No problem. And the rest of the trip, I just got to watch games. It was you know, it was Third Strike made a return, and that was super fun. Heyo was like the star of the show. Evo Moment 38, if you guys haven't seen it. And as a matter of fact, I could probably pull it up on YouTube here.
Yeah, that was that Perry that used that. Was it with Hugo or something?
Yeah.
I think you
And
guys showed me that.
Yeah, and parries are common. That's not, you know, that's not that big a thing,
but it's the succession of them, right?
And it's the style with which he did it. The more hype thing for me was not the parries, because like he did air parry, which is super cool. It was the second part of that, which I'll bring up real quick.
Yeah. Some pretty. How was the energy in the building? I heard it was a pretty good Evo.
Oh my god, it was so good, dude. Like, if you look at the and I'll bring this up. I'm gonna put us.
Yeah, let's look at that bad boy.
Yeah. Let's go share screen. Let's go. Okay. So, and then you should be able to hear this. Hopefully, I'm hoping, because I have the volume up. But this was the thing right here.
Not dead yet. Do we go for the cross up top? He goes for the universal overhead, then backs away, dashes up, engager. Oh my God! No! Okay. Oh!
So
did he get lucky right there? Because he hopped over him.
He definitely. So some people will say it was lucky. I say that he made a hard read. Because like, what else are you gonna do? You either have to parry it or you have to do something else. But like, there's chip damage in Third Strike, so he can't just sit there and eat that super. Yeah. So the fact it was going to be one of two things, and it might not have been super if he would have done like EX Shoryuken or something like that. But Hugo has that ability to crow hop like that, and he just did it at the perfect time. And I mean, as you heard, the crowd was just wild over that, and rightfully so. Dude, there were so many good moments at Evo. There were side tournaments. This was the largest esports tournament in the world to this point. Over 11,000 actual players of games.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Sony was pretty smart in buying Evo, huh?
What's that?
Sony is pretty smart in buying Evo.
Oh yeah.
It's still popular.
Fighting games, yeah, it's popular. People coming in from all over the world, you know, all walks of life. You see, you know, everybody from every ethnicity, from age groups to, you know, there were guys in my bracket that were like 50 years old. You know, it just didn't matter. You know, it's the love of fighting games is something that's like awesome.
That seems like such a cool community. You know, like I don't play fighting games at all, but like to see everybody come together and compete against each other, it's just really cool. Especially at a high level like that, and it seems like there's mutual respect between the players. Like there's no animosity or hatred or, you know, any kind of like foul play. You know, everybody respects each other. And
there were people that had heat with each other.
Yeah.
But like pro players that would have, you know, because they shit talk each other. But yeah, that's the difference between playing a game online where the online community in every genre is just like toxic, you know, and then going to, you know, Evo where everybody's super respectful, happy to play. There were guys there were different booths set up for different like manufacturers of hardware. So I went to a Quanba booth. They make fighting sticks, and they had setups to play Street Fighter or whatever. And I was just like trying out their stick or whatever. But like people come up, ask if they can play some games. And when you have good sets, you know, they fist bump you, try to add you on Discord so you can like play later on down the line and just like have a guy online that you can train with or whatever. Like one guy was like, dude, I need knowledge in the Cammy matchup. Like, let me add you so we can like, you know, work this shit out. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. And it ends up being like that camaraderie you bond over the fighting games and the characters and stuff. It's super cool, man. Like, always a blast. Always a blast. I love going. I'm going again next year. Like, I don't even know when I'm not going to go anymore. It's just something that I love doing. It's just, you know, it's super fun. Vegas in July. It's hot as fuck, but you know, tournament is so fun, man.
So what happens when you lose and you're out? You can still like hang out and watch everybody else's matches.
Yeah.
Just kind of be there for the party.
So during pool play, there are, I mean, hundreds of stations where they have 4 setups at a station. So like my pool was H131. So I was at station 131. I was the whatever letter of the alphabet H is, the like 7th or 8th, something like that. So the 8th group or whatever to go to that specific set. Then you have the brackets, and I can actually bring up the Evo bracket right now.
Man.
Let's see.
Gotta check that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Street Fighter 6 was the main game there, or was like?
Oh, it was. Yeah, it was the one that
appearance. Tekken 8.
Tekken was the second. Let's see. Let's go to Street Fighter 6, and then let's go to brackets, and then.
You were probably feeling pretty good after you were 2-0, huh?
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm gonna win this
no. So I won my first one, lost my second one, because I played K-Brad second. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you started with 2 victories at first.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's go, and I'm trying to pull this up real quick. Let's go to. Got to find that particular one.
So is it a bracket that's that everybody can see?
Yeah,
it's on the website.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Back to all of it. Oh, I see why. Okay. We need. I see what I did. I'm like, why is it not showing me? Yeah, so Street Fighter is the main game. Mm-hmm. It had 5,500. I can look right now.
Is Smash Brothers still there?
Smash was not there. So it had 5,279 entrants for Street Fighter 6.
For Street Fighter. So that's about half.
Yeah.
Like almost about half.
Yeah, of that 11 or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna view the pool, pull that off to the side, and I can pull that up. Present, share screen.
It's gonna be a crazy bracket.
Yeah. So here's what the bracket looks like, and as you can see, like I beat my first guy right here, 2-0. Then I fought K-Brad.
Chili Dog Johnson.
Chili Dog Johnson, yeah. He beat me 2-0. So then when I lose, I go down here because I lost in winners round 2. I go to losers round 3. I beat Aged Goat Cheese 2-0.
I love it.
And then I lost to Sweaties 2-0. I was one short, so this match between Diego and Sweaties was the match to get out of pools. So I was one short of getting out of pools, but not bad overall, dude. Like, honestly, again, I'm out at this point here. Now, all these people behind me are all out, right? So like, and then only a few people ahead. So when you look at it, like everybody here is gone, and then we're all moving ahead. So yeah, I thought it was something that was really cool to do. And again, that's with like a less than a year old baby as well. So my training time was not what it should have been. So overall, I was pretty happy. And just watching other games that I don't play. Like Guilty Gear Strive, that game looks amazing. Like just watching the animations for it is just so cool. It's such a fun time, man.
Yeah, those Arc System Work games are beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I was actually going to train for Dragon Ball Fighters, but it ended up not being there this time.
Oh, really? Wow. It's been in the previous years. Like it's kind of been a regular game.
Yeah. So I just think that they didn't have enough room for it. With some of the new things that were coming out, and it had a dwindling kind of, so as games start to age out and get to the end of their life cycle, and it was at the end of its life cycle, developers weren't really doing anything to like update the game anymore. You start to see those numbers dwindle. So
it's just natural course.
Yeah, it's natural, but sometimes the community there are community tournaments or whatever that keep them alive. So I know there was a community tournament for Street Fighter 5. I know there was a community tournament for Street Fighter 4. There was one for Marvel 2, Marvel 3. So they all get their due at some point or another. It's just a matter of like finding whichever one you can. So,
gotcha.
And trying to like, organize it. I think that community tournaments are a little harder to deal with, but yeah.
I was going to ask you. So I remember you had mentioned that you had put thousands of hours into Street Fighter 6, right? So what would it take for you to be the Evo champion? I mean, because how much better can you get? Or have you reached your plateau? Like,
no, leading up to Evo, I didn't do a lot of training.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do a lot of training. So, like my peak, I could probably get out of pools. I could probably finish like top 500.
Wow.
At my peak. And that's kind of what I'm shooting for. It's kind of what I'm shooting for next year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because I'd imagine after that many hours you put into a game, like there's just not much better you can get. Like you kind of reached your ceiling.
Sure.
But there's always room for improvement, I guess. But I mean, what do I know? I'm not a fighting game person, but it seems like there are limits to this. You're just not going to beat the top guys at some point, right?
Right. Yeah. And that happens. So no big deal there. I don't know. It's more about the fun, right? I knew going in, if I was being honest, I knew going in, K-Brad's probably going to wax me, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay. It's no problem. Like that happens. So not a big deal. It was more about the experience of being able to like play K-Brad.
Yeah.
So and that was more important to me than anything else was, I get to play K-Brad. Like it's going to be a cool experience. I just want to give him just a competitive game, So I think that's mostly what I was looking at. And beyond that, it was just, again, like I said, I don't want to go 0-2. I don't want to feel like I'm just what we call a pot monster. You're just paying into the pot. For the prize pool or whatever. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. So no big deal. I just wanted to take care of that and not have to worry about it and just, go and have fun. That was my goal. Again, like I said, with the baby, it's really hard to get those hours in. And so for me, I'm just like, look, I can't go into it wanting to be like the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Like wanting to be, it wasn't going to happen that way. So, I don't know, man.
Unrealistic expectations, right? Like
it is. Yeah, it is unrealistic expectations. That's for sure. I wanted to make sure that, we were able to just have fun and just go in there and not be like, fuck, I need to win. Fuck, I didn't win. This was terrible. I was just like, look, I'm not winning Evo. Let's be real. I'm not winning Evo. So just have fun along the way. See if you can make some new friends, talk to people around your pools, introduce yourself to as many people as possible, make some community connections. And then the next year when you go, you can touch base and have more fun, man. It's awesome. I love it,
I wouldn't even be embarrassed if you went 0-2, because like it just depends on the matchup. Like you could have fought two of the best people back to back, and then
the whole thing is to what we call not being free. Like you don't want to be a free win.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have had somebody like, 'cause my wife had the baby, so I wish I would have had somebody that could have like filmed my matches or whatever, because that would have been beyond just playing. Being able to go back and look at those, or even like upload them for the channel, would have been something cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but again, it's all like I did a stream for the channel earlier that's over on Twitch if you guys want to check it out, where like one of my buddies was like, oh dude, like my nephew heard that you went to Evo and like he wants to play or whatever. And I was just like, okay, cool. Like, but and you find out that there's like levels to the game, like K-Brad, I wasn't free, but I wasn't going to win. Right. This kid that I played today, I beat him 25-1. So like, I'm that much better than he is. And then K-Brad's that much better than me.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
The hierarchy of things. Like there's levels to this thing.
Yeah. Absolutely is. That's for sure. So,
oh man.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a good time.
It was a good time for sure. Definitely was. I can say that for a fact. And
awesome.
Yeah, man, just super cool. Like loved going. I'm going to go again. Obviously baby didn't really have a good time, too hot in Vegas, but yeah, going through all the booths, checking out all the merch, which I bought a lot of merch. So I think I came home with like 7 shirts and a whole bunch of other stuff. Speaking of which, I did get you guys some prizes. So if you're ready for that,
show it.
I can kind of
show us the goods, Matt.
So, well, I'll show you what I got first.
Tori doesn't get anything because he's not here.
Right. So I picked up this bad boy right here.
Shoot. That looks awesome.
The Sephiroth. I love these like bead art, like pixel art things.
Hell yeah.
And then I went whole hog as well. And I was like, all right, Sephiroth's not enough. I'm going to do the entire cast.
No way.
Yeah.
That looks
and so they're
cool.
actually like, if you see when I turn it, there's depth to it as well.
Dude.
The whole cast of Final Fantasy VII.
That one's mine, right?
No. No, sir. No, sir.
That's beautiful.
Now, you remember I told you I had a conversation, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, nobody likes anybody but Cloud and Tifa, right? That conversation I told you about was really with myself. That was just my way to fish to see who your favorite character was. Okay. So this is for you, my friend.
That's beautiful, man.
That Cloud Strife right there. Yeah.
I love it. It's going to go great next to my pixelated Cloud right here.
Yeah.
You can see it.
It does come with like a little hook on top. So like if you want to like nail it to like the wall or whatever, so to make it stick, it'll stick there.
That's really cool, man. Thank you.
And then I know Tori's a little thirsty boy, and he loves himself some Nier Automata.
2B. I already knew it.
We got the 2B.
Dude, he's going to love that.
2B, yeah. So wanted to hook up my bros with some stuff, you know. It's always fun to get.
That's a perfect.
I saw these pixel things, and I saw 2B right off rip, and I was like, dude, Tori would love that. I'm like, hold on, let me see what else they got. And they had all this shit. The one in the box came from a different guy, but because there's multiple people doing that. But yeah, super cool, man. Super cool. Awesome. I got a new stick bag that's back here. Got a new stick bag that has.
You can do a whole video just on your swag, man.
Evo Championship Series on there.
Very cool.
You can put your arcade stick in there. Also has Evo Championship Series written on the inside panel.
Very cool.
Just cool stuff, man.
I love coming home with swag, man.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. Daigo Parry for those people out there that love fighting games. Daigo Parry, gotta have that.
Very cool.
So, yeah, man, good time overall. So,
man, the last time I went to any kind of convention was the very first PlayStation experience, which was in Vegas. I think it was 2015.
Okay,
They give you like a goodie bag right off the bat, and PlayStation gift card, and shirts, and they had like a trading card thing that was kind of going around. So the more booths you visited, the more cards you would get.
God, I would love to be a fly on the wall at Tokyo Game Show because PlayStation's going to be there this year.
Yeah, they're going to be at the China one too.
Like but I think at Tokyo Game Show is where they finally dropped the PlayStation 5 Pro stuff.
I'm starving for information. Give me more.
Same, definitely. But yeah, man, like I'm super stoked about that and couldn't be happier. Yeah, dude, it's just cool trip, fun times. I wish the baby was a little older and had a little more fun. Wish wifey, had a little bit more time to do some stuff, but we had some good food. We went to the Fontainebleau, and they have like a little sports book there. Mm-hmm. It's it's called the Tavern, and it's a sports book, but it has a restaurant in it, and so you can go place bets at the sports book while you're having dinner.
Very cool.
We ended up eating there because the Fontainebleau is a relatively new open hotel. The building, if you go on YouTube and you research like the backstory behind the Fontainebleau, it was a project that was like mired in like it was sold, it wasn't opening. We'd gone there multiple times. It wasn't finished. There were like blown out windows in the place. And they finally opened it, I want to say last year or the year before. And it's an absolutely beautiful hotel. Like one of those ones where like when you open the door, you get an instant, it's like walking into an Abercrombie and Fish, right? Like you're hit with a scent, but like
I don't like that smell.
But it's not like the cheap Abercrombie. It's like high class, like it smells like classy. You know what I mean?
It's cool and refreshing.
Oh my God. Yeah. So it's like 110 degrees outside. You walk into that hotel and the hotel lobby is like 64 and you're just like, ooh, this is lovely. I love this right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we ordered there. I had a salmon dinner. It was like probably one of the best pieces of salmon I've ever had in my life. And then they had these little deviled eggs, and they weren't chicken eggs. They were like, they must've been like quail egg or something, because they were tiny. But they had like olive tamponade on top, and oh my God, it was so good.
Dude,
had a nice old fashioned with some 15-year-old whistle pig rye. It's just some good stuff, man.
Sounds really good.
It was good. It was It gets pricey, man. It gets pricey. I had a just went probably to right before the last ending of Evo, went to this bar Collins and got an old fashioned there. It was like $35 fucking dollars.
Just for the old fashioned?
For the old fashioned, yeah.
Did they do did they smoke the rosemary in the glass?
It was fucking good. Oh my god, it was fucking amazing. It was one of the better ones that I've had, but it was still $35.
It must have been the whiskey. Must have been some good old.
Yeah, because I was asking for top shelf, like not top shelf, but like near top shelf whiskey. You know, we're stopping just short of like a Pappy Van Winkle, but we're getting Whistle Pig aged is like $200 a bottle, $250 a bottle. So you know that upcharge is coming. Yeah, if I would have got like Well or whatever, if I would have got like I don't know Bullet or some shit, yeah, I'm sure it would have been like $16. Yeah. But my hotel actually during happy hour used Whistle Pig. They had like a 6-year bourbon Whistle Pig that I got with the old fashioned. It was like $16, so much more reasonable.
Okay,
but
not too bad.
And it was good. And it was cool too because in our hotel there were a lot of families, and we stayed at the Hilton because we had a trip that we were supposed to take to New York and DC last year, but our dog needed surgery, so we had to cancel that trip. So we were like, okay, well, I want to go to Evo. Let's just like use our hotel points because it was one of those where it's like it was within a week of the trip, and they were like, well, we can't really refund you at this point. Like we can give you credit for like another stay, and so that's what we ended up doing. And we stayed at the Hilton, but in town also, besides Evo, there was some random karate tournament at Mandalay, which like whatever, I don't care about that. But the NBA Summer League was there.
Oh yeah.
So it was a lot of families of like the players in the summer league that were just there to like watch them. And it was like, you know, the Las Vegas Sphere had advertising on the outside and stuff. It was really cool. I was
going to ask you about the Sphere. Is it pretty cool?
The Sphere is dope, dude. It looks amazing. I haven't been inside, but the outside is bonkers. Yeah.
It's like a whole like auditorium in there, right? Like they have concerts in there and stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Dude. I think U2 has a residency there.
I gotta find something to go to over there just for that. I want to see what it's like on the inside.
I mean, listen, if you're down, I don't know how you feel about UFC, but UFC holds events inside the Sphere.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I used to go to UFC events all the time, like before it was blown up.
I've never been to a UFC event.
Oh yeah. I went to I don't know if you're familiar with Pride Fighting Championships back in the early 2000s. It was
Pride in Japan. Oh yeah, where everybody was juiced to the tits.
Oh yeah, and you could do like foot stomps and stuff.
Yeah.
So they had
where
show.
Fedor Emelianenko was.
Hell yeah, he was a beast, man. They had one show that was in Vegas, and I went to that one.
Cool.
And I'm a big Vanderlei Silva fan, so like I went over there just to watch him get knocked out.
Oh, who'd he fight?
He fought Dan Henderson for the second time. He beat him the first time, but
Dan Henderson in Pride was a motherfucker, dude. He was so good.
He's got a fucking. Did you see? Remember what he did to Michael Bisping at UFC 100?
Yeah,
that right hand,
and then put him on a t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah, and I had a lot of good time watching those fights back in the day.
Yeah, very cool. So cool.
Yeah,
it's like it's fun, man. It's fun going to fights and just trying to I don't know, man. Just doing different experiences is super fun to me, and I think that would be something. And I haven't watched UFC in a while. Like actually, I was into it for a long time. So, like my favorite UFC fighter of all time is George St. Pierre. Like he was just so badass, dude. I love GSP. I particularly remember the fight that he had against John Fitch, where he beat the fuck out of that dude.
Yeah,
and like props to John Fitch for not like getting knocked out or whatever, but like. I mean, he was just beating the shit out of him. And then that transitioned into Conor McGregor, who like I always loved watching until he fought Floyd Mayweather and then became too big time. And he's been completely like non-existent since then. John Jones was fun to watch. I used to watch Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture back in the day.
Dude, I watched Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz, that very first one that they fought, UFC 40.
Yeah.
Oh man, the hype in that
his ass out, dude.
Oh yeah, the hype in that freaking building. It was so freaking loud, man. It was awesome to be there because they truly hated each other, man. They Chuck Liddell wanted to knock his ass out. Tito's a big talker too, right? He's a big shit talker, so he couldn't back it up. But Good times, man.
No, it's definitely a cool thing, man. And like, it's been too long, but I for the Sphere, I think that would be so dope, dude.
Yeah,
I think that would be so freaking dope.
They usually have the bigger shows at Vegas too. Like they save the good ones for the good fights for the Vegas ones. And I would love to see. I don't watch. So I think the reason why I fell off of it was because a lot of my favorite fighters from Pride days, like they started getting old, like Shogun and whatnot. Like they started getting old and they weren't really who they were. So my favorites kind of faded in, into out of existence, I should say. And then so like the newer breed of fighters, there wasn't too many I really like clung on to. But this Alex Pereira guy.
Oh yeah,
he's a beast, dude.
He is a beast.
I like watching him.
He's one of the only guys that's given Israel Adesanya like any trouble because they fought in kickboxing and he beat Adesanya twice. So
technically 3 times.
Technically 3 times, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny.
Now Izzy got him the last time they fought, right? Got him with a KO.
Izzy got him the last time, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's when he did his excessive celebration with the bow and arrows.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Do you remember you lost 3 times against this guy?
Hey, you know what?
It's
a what have you done for me lately type of business, you know?
I know.
Because I will say, Vanderlei beat Quentin Rampage Jackson twice, but then the last time they fought, Rampage turned his lights out. So, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you never know, man. Like, it's whoever gets the last laugh,
Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing is, like, my brother is like a hardcore Vanderlei Silva fan. He actually flew to Japan to watch Vanderlei fight.
Yeah.
And this is when he got knocked out by Crow Cop. And then he went to go watch him fight against Rampage, and he watched him get knocked out. And then, like I said, we went to Pride together, and we watched him get knocked out against Dan Henderson. So I think my brother's the Black Cloud.
Oh no!
Could you imagine like paying all that money to go see your favorite fighter and he gets fucked up every single time?
Vanderlei's like, get him out of here! I don't want him in my fight.
Dude,
get some shit.
You wouldn't believe this, but Vanderlei Silva follows me on Twitter.
Really?
Or X. I have no idea why.
That's dope though, dude. That's hella cool.
I don't know what he saw in me. I just talk about video games all day. I don't talk about MMA.
I don't know, man. John Cena follows me.
Dude, that's better. So, I want that.
Listen, I responded to one of his tweets or whatever. It was just like, yeah, man, this is dope. Like, this is great advice. It was like one of those inspirational quotes. I was like, this is great advice or whatever. And then all of a sudden it was like, John Cena liked my tweet. And then all of a sudden he followed me back. And I was like, oh shit. All right.
I thought you were going to say like, hey, John Cena, you like DM him. So I noticed that you followed me. So like, where do you think this relationship's going next? And then you noticed he unfollowed you right after that.
I know, right? No, I actually met John Cena one time at just out and about. He was at the sports chalet. I don't even know if it's still open in Mission Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just walking through the sports chalet getting like workout clothes and shit.
Oh yeah.
Just randomly, like didn't like you think a celebrity, they probably shut the store down and shit. And nope. It's like there's John Cena.
He seems pretty down to earth.
He's cool. He's a nice guy.
Cool, yeah.
He's very nice. Yeah. So
yeah, man. So hey, what have you been playing?
Yes. Besides Street Fighter?
Yeah, besides Street Fighter. You're practicing 1 year for next year.
I know, right? No, I took a couple days off. Still working on Shadow of the Erdtree. That one's been a slow roll. It's it's hard to some of these games are hard to play just because my daughter is at a point now where she's crawling. And so with her being so mobile, I can't be in those games where I can't pause. But unlike some people in the industry who think that that's some type of disability. I just don't play that game until after she goes to bed or I know that I don't have her for a while.
Yeah.
So it's been games that I can pause or like walk away from. So I did finally start Persona 3 Reload.
Oh, good.
Really cool and stylish so far. I like the soundtrack. I've already picked out my waifu.
There you go. Which one? Who is it?
Yuka. Yuka. Yeah, the girl with the short hair. She just seems really nice. Look, Persona 5, my waifu was definitely Makoto. She was best girl. But she was more like the uptight, like responsible nerd girl, like class president girl or whatever. And I know that one of the girls, the girl with the long red hair, I'm still early, so I haven't memorized their names yet. I just know there's like Junpei, and then like he calls her Yucatan, which I think is funny because like the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah.
But the long-haired girl, she's like the leader, she's class president, she's all this stuff. But I don't know, like I think that Yuka is like was in Persona 5 without being quite as like ditzy. Okay. She's like earnestly like girl next door, so that's appealing, and so I'm gonna romance her. You better believe. But it's still early. I'm still in like the first month of the game or whatever. But it's been fun. But what really has my attention right now that we don't give a lot of love on this channel is sports games, dude. College Football 25. Mm-hmm. I've been playing the shit out of that, and I've missed that game so much. And it's wild in a way that Madden couldn't be because of the NFL, like kind of saying like, "Hey, you can't do this." Mm-hmm. The playbooks, the formations, the unbalanced nature of college football. So like taking a school and playing on like, so let's say I take like Liberty or like Ball State or something, and I put it on Heisman difficulty, and I try to play Michigan or Ohio State, bro, good luck. You're going to get smoked, man. Those players are just too good. But it's so fun, and it encapsulates college so well. It's like a pretty big dub from EA, to be honest, and I'm pretty happy with it. So can't complain at all.
It performs pretty well. Like there's no glitches or kind of oddities. And
there's little glitches and stuff. Like they need to tune certain things in Dynasty mode. Mm-hmm. Some logos are off. There are some glitches, just like any game, right? Like, I was playing as Army, and for whatever reason, like 4 or 5 of my guys, instead of having the gold helmets that Army does, they had white helmets for some reason, which was like a weird glitch. There's the standard like level, where like the floor of the level is like off or whatever. The player gets like raised up and they like kind of stick a little bit above. I've only seen these through like Twitter. I haven't experienced a ton of these glitches myself. Yeah. Overall, for like an EA game or like just a major AAA game, particularly a sports game, I think it's pretty good in terms of like the bugginess of it.
Yeah, I just figured like since they've been gone for like 10, 11 years that they might have fumbled at launch.
They did not. Don't let that IGN 7 fool you. The dude was saying stuff that I was just like, dude, you're dumb. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, oh, this bare bones dynasty mode. And I'm like, just tell people you can't recruit, dude. Like, just say that.
Yeah.
Like, it's recruiting is awesome. Dynasty mode is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
I do think the Road to the Heisman mode, which is like the single player thing, has some work to do, and I felt that way about Madden too. For whatever reason, they put you in this proprietary camera that I don't like. I'd rather they just give me the default gameplay camera and let me play from there. But it'll be like this camera where, I'm playing quarterback and I take off on an option run, and all of a sudden the camera zooms like right behind my player's helmet, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, just give me
like
the regular...
Behind the quarterback, it would zoom in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the opposite.
Not all the way, so that it's not so that like all you can see is, but it's like going from, I don't know. It's like going from like this far away to like right behind the head, about like this, so you can still see, but it like narrows your depth of field a lot, and I don't like it. So I haven't been playing too much of that. I've really been into Dynasty mode. I started as an offensive coordinator at Army. And then when you go through the whole rigmarole. And then what I did, because even as a coordinator, you can control both sides of the ball. So when I played the game, because I was an offensive coordinator, all I did was play offense.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
I made it so that you can super sim just offense. So I let the defense take care of itself because that's not my role or whatever. I just picked the plays, and then I got a job offer as the head coach for the Purdue Boilermakers, which is where I'm at right now. So just cool stuff, man.
Football's like an RPG almost.
It is, especially like Madden and especially NCAA, because now it's like, it's not even like contracts. These recruits, it's like, it's based off of like what pipeline. So you have a pipeline that you choose. I chose Southern California because I wanted like good players or whatever. And so my pipeline is Southern California. I have a better rapport with those players. But you have like 1 to 5 star recruits, the 5 stars being the best, and they all have different things that they like. Maybe they want to play for a championship contender, so they're never going to go to Army, right? Like, they don't give a shit about that. Maybe they want to be close to home. Maybe it's like NIL deals that matter the most to them. And so you have to pitch these guys, and you have this fog of war where you don't know like what their motivations are going to be. And then they start whittling down their school. So you just see this bar where you're in contention with all these teams. You got to try to like schedule visits to get them in there. You can DM them. You can like talk to their friends and family to try to pitch them. You can like try to hard sell them on the fact that like, oh, we have world-class facilities here at this school. It's wild. It is like an RPG, and it's almost like it's not only an RPG, but almost like an RTS as well, because you have to manage all these resources as you try to go out and get these players. There's like players who aren't getting enough playing time will try to transfer away. It's dude, it's an awesome game. And it's been gone for 14 years or whatever, but I'm super happy that it's back, man.
Dude, it sounds like you could easily pour hundreds of hours into it. If you're into that simulation part of it.
Oh yeah.
And my brother-in-law was big into it. I told him about it. I don't know if he bought it yet, but I remember he used to be my roommate at some. And then he married my sister-in-law. But he was my roommate. We became friends, and then now we're family. But he used to play that every single year. And
that's
kind
of cool, though.
Yeah.
So he married your wife's sister.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So when I bought my house in 2010, I was like 25, right? So like I was renting every single room out while I was living there, and he was like my first renter, first tenant, yeah. And we hit it off right away. Like we became really good friends. We used to play games together all the time and drink and go out. And he eventually met my sister-in-law, and then they got married. So we're family now. But
that's legit, man. That's
it's really cool. Yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I've wanted to die. Oh, I played a little bit more of the Ace Attorney trilogy too, but that was like in Vegas when I needed time to relax. I know I told Tori I would play Nier Automata. I didn't.
I
brought my Switch and my Steam Deck with me, and I just ended up playing the Switch.
Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, I thought you were gonna say Steam Deck.
No. I ended up playing the Switch.
Okay.
It was small. It's smaller, so I felt like I could take it with me into different places. So like when I was at the venue and just kind of like chilling and relaxing or whatever, I would pull the Switch out and play like Ace Attorney or whatever.
Yeah.
I forget how. Yes, I do.
Oh, that thing is beautiful. That screen is beautiful.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I would love to have one, but like, there's really no point in buying one now.
No, wait for Switch 2.
Yeah, even though it's going to be LCD screen. It's okay. It's okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have like a second SKU where you can get an OLED model. Or
it'll come out a year later, 2 years later.
Or they've seen the leaks and people talk about the leaks and people are like, nah, fuck that. We want OLED. And maybe they're going to rejigger it a little bit.
How much do you think it'll be at launch? 300 or 400?
I think it'll be closer to 4. Yeah.
Yeah. It might be a hard. Well, I mean, they sell themselves at this point.
Okay, yeah. People will buy it at 400 for sure. Because I mean,
400.
Dude, Xbox is trying to charge $600 for a 2 terabyte special edition Xbox Series X. Dude, those guys are crazy.
Dude, you know
nobody's even buying their regular one.
I know, that's nuts. And they even had that the Series S with the 1 terabyte hard drive.
Yep.
For like $350 or something. It's like, I might as well just pay a little more and get a Series X or whatever.
Or do what I do and just get Game Pass on PC.
Dude, Verizon gave me another month of Game Pass for free. It's like my 4th month in the last year. I haven't used it yet. I'm waiting for that moment to like use it, but I don't know.
Better be careful. The when they increase the prices and stuff, they're also going to prevent people from stacking more than 13 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember there was deals for like $1, and that's what everybody
like
did.
Black Friday, you get like 3 months of Xbox Game Passes on sale for like $3 or whatever, and you just go and buy that deal like 50 times, and you have like 10 years of Game Pass for like $50.
Dude,
you know, that's
a steal.
They know what time it is. They spent $6 billion to get Call of Duty under their umbrella.
Yeah,
so they have to raise their price, and now the FCC is looking at them like, bro, you guys told us you weren't going to do this. Now we're going to file an issue. So,
dude,
we'll see.
They're not playing around anymore. They're raising the prices. They need money now. They need cash. No, the sweet time is over. The deal is over. I don't know. I still think PC. I was actually thinking about getting a Series X because of that really cool showcase that they had a few months back or like a month ago.
Yeah.
Then I was thinking about it. You know what? Like I have a PC that's pretty decent. I'll just get Game Pass 1 month at a time.
I have a top end PC. I play all my stuff here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, I'm running Baldur's Gate on ultra settings at 4K, and it runs at like 200 frames a second. So like, I'm sitting pretty, dude. I'm sitting pretty. Game looks fucking good.
I'm happy with my 3070.
Yeah,
I'm playing
3070. The 3070 I think is more powerful than the Series X, anyways, or it's like equivalent almost.
Yeah, and that's all I need.
Yeah,
like it'll keep me good for the next.
Well, what's your monitor spec? Like, what are you running? Like a 1440?
1440 and 165 FPS. That's
3070 is fine. Yeah, I got a 4080 Super with a 4K OLED.
Yeah,
dude, I love this. This 32-inch Alienware is amazing. I love it. It's beautiful. Love the thing. So, yeah, man, like no problems at all there. I just wanted to play a little bit of extra, but I can't justify anybody else buying a Switch at this point in time. You just wait for Switch 2 at this point.
Yeah, it's exciting. Like over the next maybe 8 or 9 months, we're going to have a PS5 Pro to buy, and we're going to have a Switch 2 to buy. Maybe.
Yep. And I'll buy them both.
Fun
I'll
to
buy them both.
New hardware.
Yeah, I'll move my PlayStation 5 into the bedroom, and then I'll put the PlayStation 5 Pro out in the living room, and we'll have all of our stuff. And yeah, it'll be nice.
I'm curious to see what it does for PSVR too. It's the frame rates. me and like 3 other people.
it unplugs it and throws it in the trash for you.
Hey man, it's a great device. Sony did a shitty job marketing it and developing games for it.
I don't think it's ready for prime time because it's already a niche device. Because for people like me, I can't use it. I get motion sick. Yeah, and it doesn't matter how fast that they up the refresh rate or anything like that. I get motion sick. I tried on the Apple headset, which is supposed to be like the smoothest experience. Immediately motion sick. Like I can't do it. It's just my eyes, my brain is just like, this isn't right. I don't like this at all.
Man.
I start getting motion sick if I put on polarized like sunglasses.
Oh my gosh!
So I don't wear sunglasses because
very
I start to
sensitive
I get dizzy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but
I want all VR to succeed, whether it's PC VR, MetaQuest. I just feel like it's such a cool thing. But the MetaQuest 3 is like where it's at because it's wireless. I don't think people care so much about like foveated rendering and eye tracking, all that stuff. They just want to play VR. So like to have a headset that's MSRP is like $500, no cable, and it's standalone. Like you just can't beat that.
Yeah.
Like I know like if you're comparing PSVR 2 with like PC VR, it's like, oh yeah, well you got to have at least $1,000 rig and then a headset. That's almost $1,500. I
still also feel like that they haven't gone to where I would go with VR if you want to make it more of a mainstream success. One of the things that they could have done recently is just like Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Let's just say that, right? They came out with the movie or whatever, but what if during like the big concert, they actually had like a VR camera that was a 360-degree camera that recorded everything that you could put the VR headset on, and it was like you were sitting right there watching a concert in person without actually having to travel, without actually having to pay as much. And you could do that for sporting events. You could do that for like Evo video game tournaments. You could do all of that stuff. And it's just like, imagine they set up a 360-degree camera, like right behind and in between the two players where you could look at the actual game screen that they're playing on and watch their button presses and stuff while they're doing it. That would be sick. And that would be a fantastic use of VR, but it's not. I don't know why they're not doing that, to be honest.
I think the NBA tried to do it, but in like maybe 2 years ago, or last year, and
people started barfing and shit.
I don't know that it took off, but I feel like that's the best application for it.
Sure.
Video games is really cool, but like to be able to like attend a concert or something at the Red Rocks, or something like that. Just watch something like as if you were there. Like that'd be really cool. But
yeah.
Just not, I mean, I feel like we should have been there by now because VR's been around for about 10 years. But
yeah, and especially in the last 4 or 5 years, it's really picked up in terms of technology. So yeah, if we were going to be there, we're going to be there. But
I mean, I'm still loving it. I probably played about. It came out this year, right? This February. Am I wrong?
2024, maybe.
Or was it 2023?
I think it was 2023.
No, it was 23. Yeah, so it's been about a year and a half, and I've probably played at least like 25 VR games.
Wow.
And I feel like I already got my money's worth. And the adapter for PC VR, you can start playing the Steam games.
Mm-hmm.
That comes out, in a couple of weeks. So I can finally play Half-Life Alyx.
Ooh.
So
yes.
if something were to happen to PSVR 2 and it died and they weren't making games for it anymore, I still have my PC to run games off of Steam. So I feel like my investment is safe. Not that I care too much about it, but like I'm still going to be playing VR for a while.
Steam is literally the best ecosystem in terms of storefront. It's the best.
Yeah. I just
not even a question.
No, I definitely agree with you there. There's a lot there, especially like classic games like PS3, even like PS3 era games are on there. So it's kind of nice to be able to access those. Yep. But I just discovered the Epic Game Store, and I didn't realize that they're giving away like a free game every week.
Did you know that? Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I wish I would have signed
up. I play Fortnite, so I'm on the Epic Game Store all the time.
Yeah. Like this week, I think it's that game Fist, F-I-S-T, that one with the rabbit.
Yeah.
It's like
China
Hero Project. It's a Metroidvania style game.
I can see what's free right now.
Yeah. I bought that game a while ago. Pretty good game.
Free games. Yeah, so Fist, Forged, and Shadow Torch will be free now through August 1st.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then Olympics Go, they have free outfits, but that's whatever. But yeah, they do it. Actually, thank you for that.
There's definitely going to be a lot of duds, but every now and then you're going to see like a good
Sure.
game.
Well, I've gotten I want to say I got one of the, and I actually just got that Fist game right now, and it's valued at $30.
Yeah.
So, am I ever gonna play it? I'll probably check it out. It looks cool. It's like a 2.5D platformer from what it looks like.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some stuff that's like you said, duds. But I'm pretty sure that I got I don't know, I think I got GTA 4 for free.
Yeah. Dude,
we can a bunch of other stuff, yeah.
Epic Games, the free list or the list of free games that they've had. Epic Games free games list. There we go.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of sorting and everything. Let's see. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's exciting to go over, but there's a lot of good stuff out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been really busy since the last time we talked.
Yeah, what have you been playing, man?
So so I think last time
you were after Shadow of the Erdtree, you were like, dude, I need a fucking break. It was like you went Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Platinum, then you went Stellar Blade Platinum.
Yeah.
Then you played a couple of other things and got into Shadow of the Erdtree.
Mm-hmm.
The last boss pissed you off so bad that you snapped your disc.
Like a little.
And when I was watching you play stuff, you were playing some budget ass, easy ass games.
Daxter.
And, yeah.
And
it looks like you've kind of jumped back into the pool of actual games. So what have you been playing, man?
So I needed that palate cleanser.
Sure.
So last time I talked to you at work, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned that I finished my backlog. I literally have nothing left in my backlog. So I was searching for something, and I've tried a whopping 16 games since the last time we've tried or talked. Some of them were demos because I'm trying to find out what's gonna work for me. I tried Nier Replicant, played it for about 45 minutes, wasn't for me. I don't know, just something about the enemy design just is really off-putting for me. Like in Nier Automata, you're finding these robot-looking trash cans, and it just wasn't that interesting to me. And then in this one, you're finding these shadowy figures that just weren't really that cool looking. And so I kind of passed on that. I felt like the combat wasn't really engaging. I needed something more demanding of me, because I feel like if the game isn't challenging, you're just kind of going through the motions and you're pushing buttons.
Man, it sounds like you're trying to go for the Sekiro Platinum right now is what I'm hearing.
Oh, no. I don't think I'll ever do that. Certain Platinums I just don't even want to go for. For example, Dark Souls 3. I would have gone for it because I had the Bloodborne Platinum, but it requires you to get everything, get all the sorceries, get all the weapons. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to rely on RNG. It's the last thing I want to do. But so I did that. I played Vanisher's demo for 10 minutes. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I tried the first Descendant on my PC. It's a competent shooter.
It's that's the one that everybody's calling Horny Destiny.
Exactly. That's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool shooter, but it just felt really easy, and it's free to play. So like I don't feel like grinding
Sure.
all day for that. I tried AC Unity because it was on sale. Played that for like an hour or so.
Oh. That's the one in France, right?
Yeah, it was more of an experiment because
cheeks.
there was a video I saw of AC Unity compared to the modern day Assassin's Creed games, and there was just such a higher level of cinematography in the older games, and like voice acting and facial animation. Like it just looked like a whole other game. So I was like, wow, like why did they regress so much? So I wanted to check that out.
It's because they went from a tighter narrative to open world, and that you automatically are going to take a hit when your game is less curated.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a shame because there was like AC games, like they've always done everything right, but the gameplay, I feel like the gameplay was just kind of a little bit stale.
Have you played Assassin's Creed Mirage?
Mirage, yeah, I finished that.
That was supposed to be like a return to the old Assassin's Creed, I guess.
It is, but that's what compelled me to go back to the old ones and see the comparison, because it looks kind of rigid and outdated, and it was a budget title. Like it was $50, I think.
Sure.
So it wasn't as big as the older games, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Probably like a 25 hour platinum or so, which I got my first AC platinum ever. Nice. I went back to Final Fantasy 13 on the PC. I couldn't do the auto battle anymore, so I skipped
Final Fantasy 13 or 13?
13, okay. Yeah. I only played on the PS3 when it launched, and then never played it again. So I kind of wanted to see what that was about.
That game is insane to me, that you go 40 hours in a linear and then it opens up into an open world. It's just so weird. I didn't like it. The character Snow made me want to like jump out of a fucking window.
Troy Baker.
Yeah.
That's Troy Baker.
I know, but that character in particular was like very unTroy. I don't know. Maybe it is Troy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's always the same people, right? It's Troy Baker, or it's Nolan North, or it's who's the girl I'm thinking of? Ashley Johnson isn't.
Ashley Johnson.
That's no, not Ashley Johnson. It's
the one that played
Laura Bailey.
Yeah, Laura Bailey.
Laura Bailey
in Lost Legacy.
Yeah, so it's always like the same people over and over. So it's just like, ugh. Yeah, give me more of Sid's voice actor from Final Fantasy 16. Dude, he was so cool. Voice. Clive, like holy shit, dude.
Is he
so good?
Oh no, it wasn't Sid. I think the voice actor that did Clive is going to be in Claire Obscure.
Yes, he is the main character.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Dude, that game looks so sick. I want that so bad. Anyway, sorry.
I like Claire Obscure because it looks like an RPG that you can actually like partake in the combat, so you can dodge and reactionary combat. So I'm all about that. Let's see. I tried a Suicide Squad because it was free. Meh, it was all right. And then there was another game called Anotria: The Last Song. It's like a Italian Dark Souls, and that didn't really grab me either. It's kind of like it's an Unreal Engine 5 game. There was a demo out for it that was I think like 10 hours long if you wanted to play it that long. It was okay. I feel like they still need to adjust a couple things, but I ran through like the first 2 bosses, and I think the third one I just didn't really feel like doing it anymore.
Yeah.
It's different. The art style's cool. It's like Italian architecture, and it's in the like during the day. Like there's like sun rays going through, so it's kind of like orangish.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the dark medieval Gothic fantasy that we've seen so many times.
Yeah.
But that's it for the games that I didn't really cling on to. Ever since then, I have gotten 5 platinum trophies, believe it or not. So I got the platinum for Dexter. And then I went and played Remnant from the Ashes.
Ooh, okay.
This was I played Remnant 2 first, and I thought it was a wonderful game. I probably played it for about 40 hours. It's like a Souls-like, but it's a third-person shooter, and it's co-op, so you can play with your friends and whatnot. And the cool thing about these games is like the worlds that you go into are different. So like if I play a campaign and you play a campaign, your world might be different. So it's not necessarily procedurally generated. You just have procedurally like random areas that you would explore. So it's a little bit different every time. There is some RNG involved in getting some of the bosses to kind of spawn for you.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll just have to reload the world and like, okay, this is where I want to be so I can fight this boss and whatnot. And it's pretty challenging. Had a cool final boss. The original game is really short though. I think I beat it in like 10 hours, which is fine. But I had a good time with it going back to it. There was a PS5 patch for it, so it runs at 60 frames, super smooth. I think it was like 1440p 60, which is not very much for console peasants like us. But, so from there, I jumped into the Outer Worlds. This was a game that I played maybe like a few years ago. So they also released a 60 FPS patch for this for PS5, and I played it a little bit. It didn't really grab me. It kind of felt like
interesting.
Fallout. It's like
yeah,
Fallout.
No, it does. It's from the makers. It's from Obsidian, so it's the makers of New Vegas. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I love that game. I remember beating that game.
I have these weird things like Witcher 3. When I first played it, I did not like it at all.
Okay.
Like I just really hated it. I felt like the gameplay wasn't rewarding. Sometimes you'll do these missions and you'll get 5 XP. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with 5 XP? Anyways, I played that like a few months later and I just fell in love with it. And the same thing with Cyberpunk. I didn't like it at first, and then I tried it again later and I loved it. So
interesting.
That's kind of what happened with this game. I didn't like it at first, but then like something clicked the second time around. And this is another short game that I think I beat in like 15 hours.
Okay.
Which is cool. Like sometimes I don't want an RPG to be 50 hours long. Like a little shorter RPGs, I'm fine with that. So it kind of sparked my interest in Avowed. That's the new game that's going to come out to Xbox later this year.
Yeah.
Which might be when I use my free Game Pass month. It looks cool. Like I think that it has a really colorful, vibrant world, and the what's it called? The art direction looks awesome. I'm a little skeptical of the combat though. It looked kind of stiff and antiquated. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I mean, for free, that's a good price to try it out, right?
Yeah.
And the next one, you're gonna laugh at me. I played Cat Quest. Have you heard of Cat Quest?
That's different from Stray, right?
Yeah, it's way different. So it's like inspired by old Zelda games.
Okay.
And you just go around and doing like these really short quests, like 3 to 5 minute quests, and it's all about leveling up your your character and getting new weapons and, you know, going for that power fantasy. And it's a co-op game. So like I could play with my kids, which, you know, I'm trying to get them like, okay, so like it's like a baby's first RPG. They can learn about leveling up and putting magic on and equipping things and making and going to the blacksmith and upgrading your weapons and stuff. So like I taught my son as I was playing it. So I platinum Cat Quest 1 and 2. And
oh my god.
they were free on PlayStation Plus Extra. So I'm like,
nice.
You got to consider this. I was searching for something. I needed something to play, and so I've been kind of dabbling in a lot of different things, and I have no idea why this game was so fun, but it grabbed me. And it was enough for me to pre-order Cat Quest 3 for PS5 next month. Go buy Cat Quest 3, everybody.
Cat Quest 3. Let's go.
And I played another game, Ratchet and Clank. Size Matters. It's a shitty PSP game. I love Ratchet games. I love the first 3. I love Into the Nexus and A Crack in Time and the new one that just came out for PS5 not too long ago. So I thought I'd try this out. It sucks. Thank God it was only like 4 or 5 hours long, because I don't know how much longer I could have taken of it.
Yeah.
The big one. This is the big one here. I platinumed Rise of the Ronin.
Oh, okay.
This game caught me off guard. I completely was going to pass it. It was on my list of games to get along with Dragon's Dogma, but I just told myself I'm not going to be able to play everything. So this kind of came at the right time. I fell in love with this game like hard.
Interesting.
It's a beautiful setting, feudal Japan. It's like in the 19th century Japan. I know this game got a lot of shit for like the way it looks graphically, like, because, you know, they're not, Team Ninja's not really pushing the graphical boundaries, right? But it has always been tight. And I fell in love with the combat right away. And it's not, I know it's like a Souls-like per se, but it's not that hard. Like, you can really make yourself pretty strong early in the game and just kind of ride that wave. So the way the format is, it's more Assassin's Creed, because it's like an open world. There's a lot of map markers, but you gradually open them up. There's like bond levels for each area that you start doing activities in, and the stronger bond you have within that area, then you unlock more activities. So you're not necessarily seeing all these map markers at the same time, and it has a lot of cool mechanics. God, I tell you, like pairing in this game is godlike. It just like I don't know how many different games I have to play just to remind myself this, but pairing is by far my favorite mechanic in any video game ever. It's just so satisfying when you hear the swords clanking, and you get in a better position to attack, and then you're just kind of like reading the bosses and just pairing like 4 or 5 shots in a row. It just feels so goddamn good, and this game does it perfectly. So it carried me. It's kind of a little long in the tooth. Like I don't think it needed to be 40, 50 hours long.
Sure.
And you know me, I have to do everything, so I did it to myself. But I had a really good time with it. I platinumed it. I've since moved on to what's this other game called? Wu Long? Fallen Dynasty.
Yeah. Fallen Dynasty, yeah.
Another Team Ninja game.
Yeah.
So like I'm like a Team Ninja fanboy at this point. And I would highly recommend Rise of the Ronin. The setting's beautiful, the combat's perfect. There's a lot of customization. They still have the loot problem. A lot of like Team Ninja games, like they'll just flood you with loot.
Yeah.
But which is kind of annoying, but you can highlight a whole bunch of them at the same time to dismantle it or sell it or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So it was a fun game. It was challenging just enough. Like it wasn't frustrating like Shadow of the Erdtree, where you're dying in 2 hits, or you have to like dodge 8 attacks before you can get 1 or 2 in. Like you can really dictate the flow of combat. Like you can be aggressive. Man. You can be aggressive. Yeah. There's a lot of counters, a lot of pairing. Like it was just awesome. So I just dove into Wulong last night, and I've already like crushed the first three bosses. And I'm probably doing so well because I played Rise of the Ronin for so long. So like I'm very familiar with the pairing.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing. Yeah,
that's cool.
It's crazy because I'm a glutton for punishment, right? Because I went from Stellar Blade to Erdtree to Remnant from the Ashes to the Ronin to Wolong, and I'm gonna play Black Myth Wukong next.
How's the story for Rise of the Ronin?
It's okay. I don't know if it's enough to carry you.
Better or worse than Stellar Blade?
It's better.
Okay.
That
was the thing with Stellar Blade. Like the main character Eve is just like drier than saltine crackers, bro. Like,
yeah, it is.
I'm just like, as long as there's something. I did see a cool like animation in the game where like you have blood on your katana or whatever, and then you like flick it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of cool. I don't know if that's like something that happens automatically or if it's a mechanic or.
No, you can do that after initiating a combo. You can flick the blood off your sword, and it'll regenerate your ki, which is your stamina bar.
That's dope. See, when it becomes a mechanic like that kind of stuff is interesting to me. So that's cool, man.
It's a great game. Story's a little long in the tooth as well. It's about like the Americans coming over and opening up Japan for free trade, but then like they bring tuberculosis over and cholera, and then like the British come over and then they want to start trading. So like you have these people that are
well, Dutch, looks like I got the black lung.
I got them runs. Yeah, so then like the story ends up being like, are you for the Shogun or against the Shogun? And you kind of have to pick a side, because the Shogun are the ones that they're dictators, right? So they want to open up Japan for new technologies and weapons, and there's also some bad things that come along with that, but it was okay. Story was.
Is there any supernatural elements to the game?
No, not really. You're fighting a lot of human characters pretty much like 90% of the time.
I just know that there are some Team Ninja games like Neo that are more, there's more supernatural elements to it.
Oh yeah, Neo's by far has a lot of that in there.
Okay.
Wulong has a lot of that too.
Yeah.
But that's more based on like Chinese folklore and mythology. Sure. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying Wulong right now. I'm probably going to play after our stream here.
Nice.
It's a great game. I don't know. Pairing better than anything else.
Pairing?
Yeah. Is there a mechanic that you think is better than pairing?
No. Pairing is sweet. And we talked about it earlier with Evo, right? Pairing the Tatsu from Ken. Pairing is dope, man, because it's such a skill-based requirement. So, and that's the one thing that I do like about Stellar Blade is the sound that the sword makes when you perfect parry something. Oof. It's like, oh shit, that sounds so good.
It's like that
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas gif where he's on the desk and he looks at the computer and he kind of leans
he's like,
back.
yeah.
That's how I feel every time I land a good parry, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's amazing. I love
so
it.
that's also why I picked Wulong, because I went on Twitter and I was like, hey man, Team Ninja fans out there, tell me, like, should I play Neo 2 or Wulong? And everybody recommended Wulong to me because it's more parry focused, and I think Neo's more dodging. So you don't have that satisfaction with parrying, but it's okay. I'll get to Neo 2 eventually.
So yeah, you know what I need to go back and play, and platinum actually, speaking about parrying and dodging and stuff, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. I need to go back and platinum that. That game is awesome.
Hell yeah.
That game is awesome.
That
Beautiful
was one of the
game
ones
too.
I was looking forward to. Like when the PS5 launched around that time, I was waiting for that one.
And it was awesome. It was absolutely incredible. I need to go back and platinum that game.
It's a beautiful game. Like the music was cool. The combat was, just right. It was actually somewhat challenging.
Mm-hmm.
We're having some difficulty.
That's why I haven't done it yet, because you got to do the hard mode run.
Yeah, the hard mode is pretty hard. Well, it's not hard until the last boss. The last boss is when you actually have to try hard.
Yeah.
But it's totally doable. It's not too much.
But yeah, I've been meaning to go back to that game because it's just such a, and it's like very relaxing and low key. It's very much like gives me PS2 vibes for like the style of combat and gameplay that it is. So it's really cool, man.
The only thing that sucks about that platinum is the collectibles. Like I don't think you can track them in game, so you kind of have to know what you grabbed and what you didn't grab.
Yeah.
So sometimes that turns me off.
Yeah. But again, I'm of like, I can look at a list and be like, okay, here's a list of everything. I'm gonna go from A to Z and try to collect what I don't have. And if I have something and it's not there, cool. Like I'll move on or whatever. Yeah. I think I have that patience. It'll be like one day, like, okay, this is my task for the day. I can like compartmentalize like that, but I know not everybody can. So
yeah,
it's definitely doable. I think I can do that though.
I was going to ask you, like, what do you think it is about games, and like some of them you just automatically want to 100% complete, and some of them you just don't have the patience to do that. Like for example, like when I play an Assassin's Creed game, like I don't even think about the platinum. Like there's no fucking way you're going to make me play this for 150 hours to get all the collectibles. But when I play Rise of the Ronin, I felt compelled to do everything. Like I wanted to do everything. I don't know what that is about me. Like sometimes I want to do it all. Sometimes I just don't even think about it.
I think there has to be a level of love for something in the game, whether that's art style, whether that's gameplay, whether that's characters, whether that's story. Like I'm still planning to do the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Platinum. I really am. I just don't have time right now, but I think about it all the time. I'm like, damn, I want to go back there and play that game because I love those characters. I love the setting. I love the combat. Like, I love everything about that game. All the stuff that people like, all the stuff that you were mad about, like, there's too much of this, there's too much of that. Tori was like, there's too much of this, there's too much of that. For me, I'm like, there's not enough. Like, there could never be enough. It's a series and a game and characters that I could live with forever. You know what I mean? Like as evidenced by all the stuff that I bought that it's Final Fantasy VII related. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's one of my favorite games of all time, and I could spend tons of time there. It's the same way I feel about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I've beaten that game probably like 60 or 70 times for no good reason. It's just that every now and again, I'm like, damn, dude, I'm going to go play Ocarina of Time again. Like, that's what I want to do. I felt that way with Tears of the Kingdom. Like, I didn't really like Breath of the Wild, to be honest. I finished Breath of the Wild, but I was just kind of like, it was a slog. But Tears of the Kingdom, it was the fact that, again, there were 3 zones, right? It wasn't just Hyrule now. Now you had the sky platforms, and you had the underground. And the building, the putting together the little contraptions and stuff made the game so cool to me.
Hell yeah.
That mechanic was something that I was just like, and I love Zelda games, right? I don't think that Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are necessarily Zelda games per se. I think that they're open world games that just happen to have Link and Zelda in them. I think of Zelda games as an overworld with dungeons. Like that's what a Zelda game is to me. And I love those classic ones. But like Tears of the Kingdom, because of that one property, that build property, it separated a game that is essentially they're they're identical gameplay wise almost, you know, except for that one thing. But that one thing makes such a huge difference that I wanted to live in that world, and I was willing. I probably put like 300 hours into Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
For no good reason. I finished the story, but I wanted to go around and collect everything.
Yeah.
And just see what I can see. I wanted to get all of the seeds and all of the stuff and whatever else. And I wanted to see all the crazy stuff that I could build.
Yeah.
And it just turned into this obsession. And I think you have to have something like that in your game to want to be able to 100% it. So
yeah,
it's the same thing with Elden Ring. I've never platinumed a FromSoft game. I've beaten FromSoft games, but I've never platinumed one. But Elden Ring, I was like, dude, I love this world. Like everything that's happening, freaking, I can't remember the horse's name.
In Elden Ring?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, whatever the horse name. But that horse made like a huge difference. And just the different play styles that you could have, and I don't know, man. Like the open world was something that was cool because like a lot of people were they're used to the narrow, okay, you got to go this way, right? Like Demon Souls remake or whatever, Demon Souls remake. It's very linear, and you go through and you're gonna fight the boss, and but going out into Limgrave and then running into the Tree Sentinel like right off rip, and then he just like one shots you. You're just like, oh shit, this is a different type of FromSoft game, where like it's not just going to be these little peons at first. Like you're gonna get fucked up, man. You better watch out. Like you have to be careful, and you got to like really plan. And that extra strategy for me, and the avenues of escape, being able to tackle it in different ways. It was like, okay, I want to go to this cave, or like I want the Moonveil katana, or like I want Rivers of Blood or whatever. And it was a specific path that you had to go through to get those. I'm going to run through and I'm going to do all of the Bloodveil missions or whatever. I think those things make a difference. And so Vare the Blood Mask or whatever, like doing all of those to get to a certain point and level up that way was more fun for me than going through. And it's like, okay, I know the dragon's up on the drawbridge in Neo or whatever it was. And it's like, that's where I'm going to be stuck or whatever the fuck. Like, I just knew that I could get around things. I didn't have to go and fight Moog or anybody like that if I didn't want to. At that point, I had the entire world to explore. I remember going from Limgrave to the second area, and it's just like, you had to go through that little drawbridge, whatever, and you had that ogre there, and it's just like, no, I'm gonna get on the horse and I'm just gonna run past you, dude. Like you're not gonna turn around fast enough. Like I'm just gonna go, and then I have a whole new area to explore. So I think that's part of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think in this case, like I love the parry mechanic. I was so engaged in the combat that like sure, I'll go here and I'll fuck these people up too, and then I'll go to the next one. I'll do the same thing. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to be about it for us. The only thing I wanted to bring up, I guess, during a Capcom shareholders meeting, they stated that Mega Man is one of their most important IPs, and they're looking at ways to continuously release new Mega Man games. So that should be something exciting. As somebody who loves Mega Man,
that'll make our boy Colin Moriarty very happy.
Very happy, yeah, yeah. But I remember, I think it's Mega Man 3 that introduced the slide mechanic. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't much of a Mega Man kid growing up.
Snake Man is the one that I remember the most, because he had like the little Cobra hood or whatever. I just remember him for whatever reason. So
yeah, I never knew which order to like fight the bosses, because I knew it was beneficial.
There is an order. I don't think. I mean, nobody explicitly told you. It was all trial and error, right?
Yeah.
But there's something to be said about those games that are beatable in, like Super Mario Brothers 3. I can beat that in one sitting, and it's amazing. I love doing it. It goes to show that sometimes you can have a beloved game that doesn't necessarily need to be long. Like I said, Ocarina of Time, you beat that game probably in like 15-20 hours, but it's still amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't need it to be 200 whatever hours Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Valhalla was to be something special. You don't necessarily have to do that. So
yeah, I feel like
there's a lot of good
games that are like 20 to 25 hours. That's a sweet spot right there.
It is a sweet spot.
That's what I want.
Sweet spot. And some games that I love, I felt were a little long in the tooth. Red Dead 2, I thought was a little long in the tooth. I didn't need all that spoiler alert, I didn't need all that John Marston stuff at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I played Red Dead 1. Like, why you show me this shit that doesn't even matter? Everybody knows he gets smoked. Like, why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And for Last of Us Part 2, you know, like I feel like there was a lot of fluff in that one too, that where it's like an extra little bit that's like, God, like you get past this whole. I mean, listen, when you get to the Southern California area, I'm just like, damn, dude, this game is kind of dragging now. Like, we need to be done.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's getting kind of crazy, but yeah. It'll be fun to see going forward. And hopefully Tokyo Game Show, TGS with Sony, they'll make some announcements. That's going to be coming up soon. August should see some news. There's some releases. Do we know what's coming? Is there anything good coming out in August?
August, the only thing I marked down was Black Myth Wukong.
Okay. And that's the one from the Chinese studio, right?
Yeah.
That's the one with like the monkey people, right?
The monkey dude with the staff.
Yeah. That one looks cool.
But it's not a Souls-like, which is cool.
It looks cool, so I'll check that one out for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else on my list other than
Madden 25. That's what's coming up.
I know, right? Let's see.
I got as a 49ers fan, I got to get that one. Christian McCaffrey's on the cover. I got to get that thing. So.
Oh, the next Madden?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially with the 49er on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after Black Myth is Astrobot.
That's right. That's September 6th, which we will be at Sacred Symbols Cross Defining Duke.
On the day it happens. For that.
Yeah.
And on the day that happens. Then Concord. So those are the 3 big games next.
Concord's DOA, dude. Unfortunately, Concord's DOA. We all know it.
It's sad because it's actually a good product. Like, it's really polished.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if it's what people want right now.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's a different conversation up for a different time.
Yep, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe, smash all the buttons, do all the things. We love having you here. For Frenchie, for myself, it's wonderful to be back in front of you, giving you new content. So until next time, we'll see you later, and goodbye.
Keep it gaming.